West Bengal Assembly passes bill to change governors, the Chancellor of state-run universities and make Chief Minister the Chancellor of the same. That's the big breaking news coming in. Our reporter will be joining us to bring you up to speed with the latest development on the Mamata versus Governor story that is breaking out. Questions are rising on whether this is coming in the backdrop of Jagdeep Dhankhar, which is the Governor of Bengal, his run-ins with the state government that we've seen over the appointments of Vice-Chancellors across the universities or not. Our reporter will be able to answer that question. All right, Suryagini is there with us. Suryagini, is this development coming in because of the run-ins that Jagdeep Dhankhar has had with the state government over the appointment of Vice-Chancellors across universities?
Well, Jayati, this is not the only particular issue that the state government and the governor of the state has been having since a long time. But since 2019, there were multiple, standpoints with the governor and the state government, be it the, the IAS officers or with the educational bills or with, you name it, and be it law and order, post-poll violence. There were numerous, there were n number of, issues that the governor and the state government fought with. Now, this one, comes at a time when the governor had been slamming the government over the alleged scams in the education department, the SSC implementation. The governor has been pretty harsh on the state government on this particular issue. Now, almost 2.5 weeks back, it was first stated that the governor will be removed from the post of the state-run universities as the chancellor. The chief minister will be brought in, and after almost a week from that decision, the cabinet also passed this particular resolution that the governor, this proposal rather, that the governor will also be removed from the visitorship of the state-run universities and also the state-aided universities. However, as of yet, the bill that has been passed today by 182 yes and 14 no's over here in the Assembly of West Bengal, right now, the Chief Minister is, according to the bill, the Chief Minister is the Chancellor of the state-run universities only. Now, this particular bill, after being passed, it's going to the governor for his particular assent. Now, whether or not the governor
but earlier, Dhankhar had alleged that the VCs of universities were appointed illegally without the Chancellor's approval. If you could elucidate further on that and put it into perspective, because now the Chief Minister, from what we're picking up, will be the Chancellor of the same.
Well, absolutely. That is what the governor has alleged. Now, there has been a tiff between the chancellor, like the governor, and the education department as well. The education minister, time and again, even today, he has stated that the governor sits on these education bills. And that is the reason. And even, the implementation of the, even the appointment of the VCs, it's something, according to the education department, that they will be referring names. And the governor is someone, who will be, picking one name out of the names that has been given by the education department. That is as per the protocol. Now, the education minister has been claiming, not for the first time today in the assembly, in the floor of the house, but various times on recorded bites, that the governor, if the education department has given 3 names, the governor gives a 4th name, which is not in the list. So, there have been multiple standoff points between the governor and the government of West Bengal. This one being the latest one, and today, Chaiti, the bill has been passed over here in West Bengal Assembly just a while back, that the Chancellor of state-run universities as of now will be the Chief Minister. Now, this bill goes to the governor, whether the governor approves it or not, or whether, he sends it back, whether he, sends it, he takes a legal action on it, he goes to the High Court or the Supreme Court, is something only time can say. Back to you, Chaiti.
No, but then put it into perspective now. Constitutionally, does this hold fort? If you could just legally give a bit of a perspective on this.
Well, obviously it can be challenged, and what we do understand is that the BJP MLAs who voted against it, 40 of them voted against it. They are of the opinion that they'll take this matter to the High Court, and they'll seek a judicial judgment on this particular bill that has been passed. Secondly, that whether or not this is constitutionally allowed is something that's a big question. However, what the Trinamool Congress has been claiming on the floor of the House, outside the house is that in 2013, when Narendra Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he had brought in the bill to remove the then governor as the Chancellor of Gujarat State Universities and make the Chief Minister. However, that time the bill was passed by the Legislative Assembly in Gujarat, but the governor did not give his assent. So in 2015, when the governor was changed in Gujarat, that is the time he had given an assent. And not only Gujarat, but there have been various states like Telangana, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, wherein the state governments have brought in such bills and they have been passed. However, in certain states,
that is interesting that you mentioned that, because when the state assembly decided on something like that through a process of voting, were any of those particular decisions challenged in the court, and what was the outcome of it? What did the court have to say on it?
Well, Jyoti, if we speak about the other, various, states, let me just tell our viewers that, in 2013, as we were rightly mentioning, this bill was brought in by Narendra Modi's government in Gujarat, and that is the time when the bill was passed by the floor of the house, but the governor had not given his assent. So there is a huge probability that even in in Tamil Nadu, the governor had not given the assent. So in that case, these cases can go to the court, and it's a long process wherein it takes time for a legal judgment on this particular issue. That is what we have seen. However, for Gujarat and Gujarat only, in 2015, 2 years after this bill was passed by the assembly in Gujarat, the chancellorship, after the new governor came in, the chancellorship was given to the chief minister's post. Back to you.
To get you some constitutional experts also to give you a bit of a perspective into this story, because is this a petty fight between the governor versus Mamata, and is the government being vindictive, or is it something that is absolutely legal to do and the governor can be replaced by the chief minister as the chancellor, and what the previous precedents have been from the court as well vis-a-vis other states where something of this nature has happened? We'll continue tracking this story.